I really hope you're not about to watch this right before you go to bed, because these stories are about to keep you up or give you some terrifying nightmares. You've been warned, so that's on you. What's up, Rat fam? Today we are going, I don't know, I'm a little too excited to be talking about scary stories right now. We're going to dive into another creepy ask Reddit thread. You know, these are my jam right now. So many topics, so many scary true stories. Today I was watching a video on sleep paralysis, and then it reminded me of my own terrifying experiences about sleep paralysis that I've shared before in some videos. Not pleasant, not a great time, highly don't recommend. Not that you have any control of it though. So instead of talking about my experiences, I want to go look up other people's terrifying experiences with things that they've seen while having sleep paralysis. Oh, y'all, it is, why did I pick this topic? I'm already regretting this. Let's get to it. Sleep paralysis is just one of those things that, like, genuinely, to my core, terrify me. Whatever. I hope you liked this video, though. Give it a big thumbs up if you did, so then I know you like me terrifying myself and hopefully terrifying you too. I knew there was a thing in my closet. Oh, yeah, right off the bat. That's what I had. Something really evil, but I also knew I was dreaming and I should face my fear. I tried to look directly at the closet door, but if I moved my eyes, my head would turn away. Okay, that just like sent a shiver down my spine. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't look directly at it. Then I woke up in a cold sweat. At first, I felt really relieved that it was over, but very shortly, I realized it wasn't a dream and there really was something in the closet. God, what? Okay, now sitting in my closet, my viewfinder. Ugh, I hate that. Like, whenever a story mentions a closet, it freaks me out beyond belief. I was laying on my back and couldn't move, and I didn't really hear it, but I could kind of feel this sickening laughter wash over me and through me in waves, emanating from the closet. So they didn't hear it, they felt it. That's an interesting way to describe that. I'm thinking like vibrations. You know, when a car has like a bass system, they drive by and then you like feel like your house shake. That's what I'm thinking, but with laughing coming from your closet. And now I'm thinking a clown for some reason. I don't know. Okay. All of a sudden, the thing throws a human head at me and it lands on my chest face up. It was this girl I knew in high school. Up to this point, I was kind of holding it together, terrified but not panicked. Well, at this point, I lose it. I can't even scream. All I can do is make these grunting, moaning sounds. I'm wiggling and straining, trying to rock from side to side to get it off of me, but I cannot move. Not a single muscle. Oh my God, that is awful. This seemed to last maybe a minute or two, and then I really did wake up. It was so traumatic that for weeks I would be scared when I woke up that I wasn't truly awake and something horrible could happen at any moment. It still makes my skin crawl when I think about that laugh. The thing is, I had never heard of sleep paralysis or night terrors at that point in my life. I genuinely just thought I was losing my mind. Yeah, I mean, I guess like once this happened like pre-Google, right? Like where you can't like be like, hey, I had this crazy dream and I couldn't move. What's happening to me? That would be even more terrifying because like now we have sometimes the reassurance of the internet, and then also the internet can cause a lot more problems and make you think you have 100 diseases when you actually don't. But before you were able to even do that, this might not be a dream that you want to share with people, because if people like if you feel like maybe you're losing your mind and you told someone the story, maybe then they would think you were losing your mind too, and then like, that's not a great situation to be in. So like you just like keep this to yourself and like fear. Oh God, that is awful. I don't think I've heard such a disturbing sleep paralysis story before. It's usually like, you know, like an entity, a demon, a ghost, like stalking you, sitting on your chest, screaming in your ear, which is all terrifying. But I've never heard of a head. Let's move on to the next one. I was laying in bed with my girlfriend at the time. I woke up from a really intense dream I had just had. I tried to turn around, but I couldn't move a single muscle. All of a sudden, I hear a man yell, "Watch out, he's awake!" Oh my God, what? At that moment, I fully panicked. Completely reasonable response. I'm panicked for you, bud. I felt a big pressure on my chest and had the idea I was tied down on a huge dentist-like chair. Okay. For all those people afraid of dentists, maybe this one's for you. Then I heard a huge metal door close very loudly, and then a silence, which to me felt like it lasted an eternity. A moment later, I heard nothing but my girlfriend breathing in her sleep. I knew she was laying next to me. I used all the power in me to move or wake her up in some way, but it was futile. I still couldn't move. I was 100% sure I was abducted by aliens who, as soon as I woke up, transported me from their ship back to my bed somehow. When I could move again, I was still in panic, so I woke up to my girlfriend, who annoyingly told me to go back to sleep and tell her in the morning. A bit disappointed, I look at the clock, and it was around 4 a.m. I go downstairs, grab a glass of juice, and smoke a cigarette in my garden, explaining to myself what had happened. I took my tablet and then found out it was called sleep paralysis. To this day, I am 100% sure that anyone who truly believes they have been abducted by aliens just encountered sleep paralysis instead. Actually, when I did a Google deep dive into sleep paralysis to try to understand it some more, this was something that was brought up, that people that felt like they were abducted by aliens then went on to report there was probably sleep paralysis, and vice versa. Some people didn't believe it was actually sleep paralysis and they thought they genuinely were abducted by aliens, and sleep paralysis was like a conspiracy cover-up. Sleep paralysis is a very fascinating topic, not only because the stories are absolutely terrifying, right? Like, no one wants to be in a position of helplessness. The psychology behind it and the history behind it are also equally as interesting, in my opinion. Like, when I was doing some research into it, one theory of why sleep paralysis tends to be, accompanied by these terrifying nightmares is because of the panic of not being able to move your body because you're not truly awake yet. Because when you're asleep, your body paralyzes you in a sense. So, okay, computer, scaring with my update, so that you're not moving around in your sleep, so you're not like hurting yourself or walking or what have you. And when you happen to wake up before your body is capable of moving again, your mind like makes these hallucinations of scary things to accompany that feeling of panic you already have. Am I explaining that well at all? But yeah, that's like a little snippet of the reasoning behind sleep paralysis, or a thought behind sleep paralysis. This next one is short and simple and sweet and to the terrifying point. When I was a child, I had this every now and then. I'd wake up on my back and see a dark creature in the corner of my room staring at me. I'd strain with all my energy to get up and scream, and couldn't move or speak. Eventually, I was able to move a finger, and the creature would rush at me, and then I'd wake up for real before it got me. This person commented on this post, "My heart rate increased as I read this." I felt that too. Oh, this video is getting heart palpitations. Anyone else? Sleep paralysis is like augmented reality, because you're like opening your eyes and you're seeing your room, you're seeing what's actually there, but then like little things that aren't actually there, hopefully, are being like planted into your vision. And then, the unpredictability of them, the scariness. Oh, my hands are getting sweaty just imagining something coming out of that closet and running up to me. I was having some kind of nightmare. Can't recall exactly what it was. It was sort of like a lot of quickly flashing scenes of demons and ghosts and stuff trying to kill me, so very unpleasant. The kind of dream where you're completely and utterly horrified. I heard something that kind of jostled me out of my sleep and turned my head to see a translucent child. Okay, that literally sent a shiver down my legs, with a burnt face just staring back at me. I hate that. Super graphic burns, like wet looking, eyes gone, but somehow still looking at me. That shouldn't make sense, but in my brain it does make sense. I couldn't move or scream or even close my eyes. Oh my god, it's the worst. My body was refusing to obey any of my commands, and for an irrational moment, I wondered if I was dead or dying somehow. The child with the burnt face reached to touch me, and I damn near cried. I was panicking so hard. It finally wore off, and I realized my sleep paralysis had turned my very normal, adorable daughter into an eyeless, burned ghost monster that wanted to eat my face. Poor kiddo had a nightmare and wanted mommy to comfort her. Well, at least that sleep paralysis had a happy ending and not one that resulted in like pushing her kid away or something, because that would have been awful. That's something like I have wondered, like whenever we cover like kids say creepy things, I always say like, how do parents deal with like moments of this? Like when you're the parent, you're supposed to comfort the kid when they're scared, but then like you're scared. How do you deal with that? Like in this situation, I would wake up, but like whenever I woke up from like sleep paralysis, I like ran from my bed the second I had control of my body, because like I did not want to be in this room. So like you're not gonna run away from your kid, right? I mean, someone might. Okay, I need to take a second. Okay, on to the last one we're covering today. It's only happened once in my life. I was sleeping on my side facing the wall, and I woke up and felt an ominous presence sitting or lying behind me. Oh god, I hate that. Okay. Ugh, I hate that. It's that's like the worst thing in like a scary movie. It's like when like someone, like you think you're cuddling somebody and like, ugh. Okay, anyways, back to this story. Terrifyingly, I could see it only out of the corner of my eye, and it was a completely black figure. So not human, but it did look like a woman, if you could call it that, and it had long black hair, so very grudgy. The only features I could make out were glowing red eyes and an equally red mouth that looked carved into her face. Okay, slit-mouthed woman, ugh. We just covered Japanese urban legends in the previous video, and now that's what I'm thinking about, right? It was straight out of a nightmare, out of a horror movie, out of an urban legend. Creepy. Suddenly, I felt her breathing on my neck. Ugh. It felt insanely hot, and at this point, I was about to poop myself out of fear. I mean, I would think pee, but you know, I guess if you had to poop, you had to poop. I couldn't move at all while this demonic thing was right next to me. Ugh, gross. I'm thinking like that thing like right here. Ugh, okay. I need to stop looking in the monitor when I film. Luckily, I knew a bit about lucid dreaming and sleep paralysis, so I tried my hardest to hold my breath to shock my body awake, and it worked. I was afraid of sleeping for a couple days after that. Yeah, bud, me too. That's a great thing that they never experienced it again. Most people aren't as lucky and have reoccurring, sleep paralysis demon nightmares. Actually, does only experiencing it once make it worse? Because then you never know if it's gonna happen again, and if it does happen again, you're less familiar with it? Or would you attribute it to something else? Like maybe you actually saw something, depending on your beliefs? Well, that was terrifying, and I am sufficiently sweaty out of fear. And it's midnight. That's fun. Sleeping is going to be real fun tonight. But thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and don't have sleep paralysis tonight. And if you liked today's video, please turn on my channel notifications if you haven't done so yet. And if you haven't yet seen it, up on the screen right now is my previous video where I talked about some more scary, terrifying Japanese urban legend. So, if you can't sleep tonight, go watch this video. To really make sure you don't sleep tonight. I'm sorry. But until next time, keep with Rannis, and I'll see you real soon. Bye. Wow, okay. Yeah, sleeping. No thank you. I'm gonna just binge watch some Netflix.